right, NFL fans, here are my picks for this week's NFL games. First up, we have the LA Chargers at Oakland. The Chargers can't seem to make up their minds if they want to be good or if they're content with being below average. Raider Nation is on a mission, plus they're at home. I'll take Oakland. Next, we have the New York Giants at New York Jets. We both know both teams, even at their best, fall well within the limitations of stinkdom. But the question is, which team reeks the most? We'll find out soon enough. Hold your noses because I'm taking the G-Men. Kansas City at Tennessee. The Titans defense played hard-nosed football, that is until last week when they were shredded for 431 yards. With that, you just know the Chiefs' offense is watering at the mouth. I'll take KC. Arizona at Tampa Bay. Both teams should be on Prozac. Even then, they would forget to take their medicine. I'll take the Bucs, but only because they're at home. Buffalo at Cleveland. Before the season began, NFL prognosticators predicted that the Bills would suck and the Browns were supposed to be so good. It just goes to show that, like weathermen, NFL so-called experts could be so lousy but still keep their jobs. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I'll take the Brownies. Baltimore at Cincinnati. The Ravens are coming off of a huge win after piling up 37 points against the Patriots defense. So what are the chances that the Bungles can do any better? About 6 trillion to 1. I'll take Baltimore. Atlanta at New Orleans. Falcons head coach Dan Quinn knows his team and his job are both in deep doo-doo when he sees his players tweeting for job interviews while the Saints score, and score some more. I'll take New Orleans. Detroit at Chicago. Lions have been winning and losing by an average of 3.9 points per game, with the last 4 games resulting in just 1 victory. Too bad they don't give out trophies for that though. I'll take the Bears, but only because they're at home. Miami at Indianapolis. Both teams have a lot on the line. For the Colts, it's a playoff spot. For the Fins, it's making sure they go winless in order to ensure they can pick up LSU quarterback Joe Burrow in next April's draft. Next, we have the LA Rams at Pittsburgh. Steelers did well by beating up the Colts' third-string quarterback minus T.Y. Hilton, but can they do the same against Jared Goff and LA's aerial attack? Nah, I don't think so. I'll take the Rams. Carolina at Green Bay. The Packers showed their human side last week. Yet, for the most part, they've been able to handle tougher teams, especially at home, whereas the Panthers can beat up the little guy, but not the block bullies. I'll take Green Bay. Minnesota at Dallas. The Vikings are tough at home. The problem is, they're on the road. The Cowboys need to do a better job protecting Dak Prescott, or they're going to find themselves in trouble from the get-go. I'll take Big D. And in the Monday Nighter, we have Seattle at San Francisco. Up to this point, San Fran has toppled their opponents at home and on the road. Seattle has struggled in their 3 games versus above 500 teams, going 1-2 in the process, and their 1 win was by a mere 1 point. I'll take the Niners. That's it for this week's games. Good luck to you and your favorite team.
Hi folks, I'm Mike Britt, inviting you to join us at Poe's Pub, located at 2706 East Main Street for Richmond's best burgers and ribs, including the Goose's favorite, the Commonwealth Burger. Check out our weekly events, full menu, and more by visiting our website at poespub.com or call 804-648-2120. That's 648-2120.
Since 1985, Richmond Recycling has been one of Mid-Atlantic's premier recycling centers. One of the reasons for their success is they pay top dollar for your scrap metals, batteries, converters, appliances, and electric motors. Richmond Recycling is doing their part to preserve our resources by their collection services and by bringing public awareness. So, fill up that pickup truck and head head on over to Richmond Recycling. They're located at 2500 Decatur Street, just minutes from Interstate 64 and 95. Or you can give them a call at 804-230-9221 or visit their website at richmondrecyclingvirginia.com.
Huddle up, fantasy football fans, for this week's International Fantasy Football League report. Going into Week 10, we find 11 of the league's 12 teams still alive in the playoff hunt. However, only 4 of the 12 teams boast winning records, whereas 8 teams are currently under 500. Let's take a look. At 9-0, Canada's Remus Island has already clinched a playoff spot. This marks the 4th time in 4 years of contention that they've made the postseason. At 7-2 are the Russian Hackers, who scored an all-time IFFL record 208 points last week, topping the former record of 205 points set by China's Jamin in 2017. The Russian Hackers also scored 199 points the week before. At 6-3 are China's Jamin and the USA's Mighty Cyclones. Both teams face one another this week. The magic number for each of them is 8 to guarantee themselves a spot in this year's playoffs. Of the 8 teams who currently post losing records, 4 are sitting at 4-5, specifically the USA's Big Dogs, and 3 teams who made last year's postseason, namely the Men of Steel, Shanghai Wang, and Bleeding Blue. The Big Dogs will battle the Men of Steel and Bleeding Blue in the final 2 weeks of the season. Bleeding Blue has been in similar no-hope situations before and instead made the playoffs each time. Shanghai Wang is in immediate dire situation as they'll face the number 2 Hackers and number 3 Jamin in the next 2 games. The Men of Steel should have the easiest time of it, with 3 of their final 4 games going against teams with losing records. Just 1 game behind the group are 3 3-6 teams, which are Australia's Storm Oz, the USA's Proctors, and the UK's Bowl-bound Mavericks. All 3 teams must run the board to even stand a chance of making the postseason. Storm Oz has the tiebreaker disadvantage to the Bowl-bound Mavericks, but the advantage over the Proctors in lieu of their head-to-head matchups. They will face the Proctors again in 3 weeks. All 4 of the Proctors' final 4 games are against teams with losing records. That's good, but can they take advantage of their good fortune? The Bowl-bound Mavericks have won 3 games in a row, but still must face the Hackers and Mighty Cyclones in the final 2 games of the season. Finally, we come to Mexico's 1-8 Lonely Star. Do they still have any realistic chance of making the playoffs? No, I'm afraid not. But that won't keep them from playing spoiler. 3 of their last 4 opponents have losing records, but are still in contention for a playoff spot. Then there's this week, where they can shock the sports world by offending the world's #1 ranked Remus Island. Just a reminder to keep up with the International Fantasy Football League, including rosters and stats, simply go to my profile pages on LinkedIn and Facebook. Type in keywords Brian Slack, NFL Media Member. Now, here's a look at the IFFL's Week 10 games.
Every time you hear this sound, you know EMS and law enforcement are at work saving lives and keeping our community safe. Southern Police Equipment is doing their part by supplying civil and city servants with the latest in protective clothing, footwear, gear, and accessories. For more information, stop on by Southern Police Equipment, located at 7609 Midlothian Turnpike, or give them a call at 1-800-542-5243. You can also order by catalog by logging on to southernpoliceequipment.com.
My name is Devon. I'm an Eagles fan. We play the Patriots in 2 weeks. We're going to take them down like we took them down in the Super Bowl. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Hello, how are ya? I'm Sean, Cowboys fans, die hard. Impressed with what we did with the Giants last week. If we can keep it rolling, we'll see you in the playoffs. Division leaders.